with the mission to keep as many men on as many guns for as long as possible. We called him Doc. Welcome to Combat Vet Vision. And now your host, Aaron Chief Siebert.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, this is Aaron Siebert, retired Navy Chief. Lucky to be alive after being hit with a mortar round April 2006. Hey, this is a place where we get to tell our opinions. We get to talk about our stories of our life, things, directions, help, support, all kinds of really cool stuff. It's being brought to you by sitchradio.com. Being part of some really cool nonprofit organizations, the PTSD Foundation of America, which is peer-to-peer mentor support for our combat vets, helping them through struggles. If you have struggles, all that's in the show notes. The Warrior Built Foundation, which is vocational recreational support for our combat vets. And I'm lucky to have Mark Doucette on with me today. And this is about to be retired Master Sergeant Mark Doucette. He's going through transition. He's been a major good buddy of mine for a long time, a battle buddy. We talk a lot about a lot of really cool things. He's a Warrior Built member. He does a lot of really cool things to help the vets out, and he's involved with some really cool programs. We're going to talk about Team Machete, which is the Class 11 race car that Warrior Built has. We're going to talk about the softball team that he runs, and being a Marine, getting ready to retire, a family, all kinds of stuff he's got going on. So, hey, Mark, thanks a lot for being on, and I look forward to hearing some cool stories. For one, you can kind of, you've been on the show before. We've talked, you could find Mark Doucette on, we talked about some cool stuff about toxic leadership and things of that nature. And this is before we had this cool technology of just getting on a phone or a computer and just kind of popping on. But yeah, how you doing?
Doing good, brother. Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So talk about your Marine Corps career a little bit and your story. You can talk about that a little bit. Really cool development of story that you got and your history in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, man. So joined the Marine Corps right after high school, like most people do. 2001, went to boot camp. I think I signed up and swore in at MEPS 5 days before 9/11. So September 6th is when I committed down in San Diego at the MEPS. And then November 4th, 2001, I shipped off to boot camp and graduated in February of 2002. Went through MLS school as an infantry rifleman, finished 0311, and then got voluntold to become an 0313. And it's been history ever since, man. So after I finished 0313 school, I went out to North Carolina with 2nd LAR, 3 Iraq deployments with 2nd LAR. During my 3rd Iraq deployment, I re-enlisted and then ended up getting orders to the School Infantry West, where I became a combat instructor at Light Armor Vehicle Training Company. Then from Light Armor Vehicle Training Company, after a successful tour there, I went out to inspector instructor duty out in Maryland with Bravo Company, 4th LAR. Went to Afghanistan with those bubbas. And then from there, I went to 1st LAR, where I held the billets, anywhere from platoon sergeant all the way to battalion master gunner. Was in charge of training for the entire battalion, really. And then from there, they asked me to go back to the School of Infantry, where I was the course chief for the Light Armor Reconnaissance Training Company Leaders Course and the Light Armor Reconnaissance Training Company Vehicle Commanders Course. Successful tour there again. And then from there, I went to the Marine Corps Tactics and Operations Group, where I was a operations and tactics instructor and operations chief for the unit when I left there. So technically, I'm still a part of MCTOG, currently in transition. There's the DOD Skillbridge program, which allows people to go out and learn a new trade and kind of transition and streamline their way back into the civilian world, which is pretty cool. Teach us something that's, just not recon and security ops specifically to me. And, transition. The DOD Skillbridge program has a ton of different opportunities out there. It's, everything from Amazon to solar, which is what I'm doing, so you really have your choice. It's pretty awesome. Up to 6 months, I took full advantage of that, and I've been doing it now for 4 months. So I got 2 months left of my Skillbridge, but it ends on my retirement day of December 31st, 2021. And January 1st, man, I officially become a civilian. and that's that, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and the Skillbridge is really designed to do a handoff to a company that you want to work for, or a direction you think you want to go in. It sets you up for success, so you don't get out and then you're like running around holding like a bag of nothing. You actually have some direction. You have an opportunity, and you've been working on the solar company for a while. Is that the route you're going?
You know what, man? I don't know. Like, so I mean, I'm snapping into it pretty well. It's coming pretty easy to me. So I mean, we'll see what the future holds. I mean, the ultimate goal is that I stay with them. But at the end of the day, I got a baby at home, and my wife works and makes good money, and I might just take advantage of my GI Bill come January 1st and invoke rehab and utilize all those benefits that are given to me for school, and then maybe I'll open up my own business and start my own thing and let other people make money for me instead of me making money for them.
Right on. Yeah, and you've been heavily involved with Warrior Built for quite some years now, and running some really cool programs. Talk about that a little bit. Talk about why you got involved, what it's meant to you. You've helped a lot of different guys in different directions. You've brought a couple guys in that really needed some help. They've taken advantage of it, and hopefully they're thriving and whatnot. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man. So, honestly, I think, what was it? I don't know, somewhere in the beginning of 2018 or so. And the softball team was a thing. My buddy Matt was playing for the softball team. Warrior Built needed a guy because they were short players. I'm a ball player. Played ball with my buddy Matt for many years. And he says, hey, man, we need a guy. This Warrior Built thing's kind of cool. It might be right up your alley anyway. Because, it's all this off-road stuff too. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. I'll come play. And then I think I filled in that night and I never left. I've been there ever since, as far as the softball team goes. And, I think initially you and I had talked. I said, hey, if you guys need an extra guy to chase for the dirt bike, to go down and race Baja, I'm in. I'm capable. I could do whatever you guys need me to do. It'd just be a really cool opportunity. And I think about 2 weeks later, you hit me up. You said, hey, man, we just got this car thing. You want to do that? And I was like, yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. Just like we talked about in that previous podcast, like there it is, man. We build our team Machete, and we don't have a car. I think we trained with Richard Valencia's son's Bug, and we blew the clutch up in it. Like, I mean, just all around, it was like a bunch of amateurs, really, is what it was, man. And then we go down to Mexico. We get our car, and Anthony is the team leader at the time. I'm a guy. I'm just a driver, co-driver.
Yeah. Wait. You got to back up, man. Like when he says we got our car, like we didn't have the Machete Bug until we went down to Mexico and the guys finished it. As a matter of fact, they had to change out the
so we were at the wide open party because we had that wide open.
And we're putting
car
stickers on it.
And we're at the wide open party. I think we may have had some beers or two. And then all of a sudden, I knew that Nick and Cisco and we're going to pick the car up. And so we were all hanging out at the wide open party. And then all of a sudden, boom, Machete just rolls into the party. And it's like, oh, look, there it is. And this is like 2 nights before the race, right? Like, it's like, oh, yeah, cool, man. So now we have the car, and it shows up. They start wrapping it at the wide open party. We take it back to the hotel, finish the wrap. And then that next day, we were driving it around and just getting a little stick time, driving around town, just, figuring the car out, trying to see how it ran and what it did and what it could or couldn't do, and just get a feel for it. And then the carburetor takes a dump on us, and the car won't run. It just literally won't run. Then they have to take it back. They're with it all night the night before the race, so we don't get it back till, I don't even know, 10:30, 11 at night. And then, we're at staging at 9 a.m. the next day, and boom, we're off at the Baja 1000 running through the peninsula. And, I think we made it 540 miles or whatever, but, that was that. And then, we come back home from the race, and there's a lot of work to be done on the car. I think it stayed down there for a little while, and Cisco, fixed the motor because we blew it up. We get the car back up to the States a couple months later, and there's just a lot of stuff to do to it, right, to get ready for the next one. And I don't remember what the next race was. I think it was the Mint 400 or something. But, I live real close to the shop, and I think that's when, I kind of really started getting involved in being the team leader of the team and just being capable. And, I was in a position that allowed me to spend a lot of time working on the car, spend a lot of time at the shop doing things. And I was close, and, that's when I became a key holder. And, really just spent a lot of time, man. And I've learned so much about that car, man, over the last really 3.5, almost 4 years. It's insane. And so much so that there's people building Class 11s now that reach out to me like I'm some expert, and I'm absolutely not. But, I have a good base of knowledge based off of mistakes and failures. But
let's go into that a little bit because of the race team, and because of the networking that you've created. Obviously you learned a lot about Machete. You spent a lot of time teaching guys. We've gone through a lot of processes on how to make it more efficient and everything. Now you are actually going with a different race team this time, because we're not taking Machete down to the Baja 1000. You're going to go down with another team and do some really cool stuff. And this is all because you're connected, you're engaged. You selected a lot of the guys that are part of the race team. You've trained a lot of guys on the race team for Machete. You spent a lot of time and a lot of heartache and a lot of, thumping your head and being all frustrated and just trying to put this thing together. But now now it creates different avenues for a lot of our guys, because a lot of guys maybe just want to go down. They want to be part of a pit crew, or they want to be part of this. But you've been asked to go down there and be part of a race crew, a race team, and so that's cool, man. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, dude. So Dennis Hollenbeck, and if nobody knows who Dennis Hollenbeck is, and if you're really not involved in the race world, then you probably won't. But if you go watch the Dust of Glory movie that was released in 2018, Dennis Hollenbeck has quite a big part in there, and he runs a shelter for women and children in like the south end of Ensenada. He's a dual citizen, born and raised in Orange County, lives down in Mexico with his wife Debbie, and they run H12-1 racing. They're both called Bochito. They're basically Baja royalty down there to me, Baja legends. He's finished multiple Baja 1000s, and he races for the kids, man. And if you watch the movie, every time he goes to race, he has all the kids dip their hands in paint, and they slap their hands on the car as if they're pushing him along during the race. And anyway, he's a good dude. So ultimately, he raced with us at the Baja 500 in June. Him and I were in the car together, going over the really tough section of the race course from Valle de Trinidad, or Valley T, over Mike's Sky Ranch and down to Vincent de Guerrero, which is about 120-mile stretch of race course, and is absolutely the worst race course I've ever been on in my life. It was terrible. And we were already good friends. We already talked a lot. We already shared a lot of information, or more so me calling him and picking his brain. And we had a lot of bonding moments up there with the car, the clutch breaking up there, his chase crew being up there, dropping the motor, swapping clutches, getting us back on the road. And, it's pretty crazy all in all. It was a really good time. We started an hour before sunset, and we rolled into the next pit where all our guys were waiting for us at sunrise. So we were in the car all night. And, I mentioned, hey, man, we got to get you in Bochito one day. And I was like, yeah, well, just let me know. And, we'll see if I'm available. But just if you want me to race with you, man, just let me know. I'm always down to be with you guys. And he mentioned it again. I went down and took the car to off-road nights in Escondido. And he was down there helping Rat Salt run the off-road nights. And he had brought it up again, said, hey, we need to get you with us for the Baja 1000. Because, I told him Machete's not racing the 1000 this year. We're going to focus on the Mint. And we're going to make sure the car's ready and good to go. And he's like, well, you got to come down. I was like, yeah, well, just let me know. And, we'll go from there. And it's kind of like the informal talk, right? There's no like formal invitation. And then, I don't know, about a month and a half ago or so, he messaged me and Nick. And he said, hey, I would like to get you and maybe another warrior or two to come down and be a part of the team. And Yeah, it was an instant yes for me. I said, yeah, that's a no-brainer, man. He goes, all right, well, I'll get you about 250 miles of wheel time in the car. It's 1,239 miles. There's going to be, I think, about 5 driver teams, 4 to 5, depending on what it is, and we'll rotate through. And, man, it's just really an honor. And Warrior Built is the only reason I'm a part of this, right? Like, I never would have had these connections or been able to make these connections at all, or network the way I have within the off-road community to get these opportunities. And so Warrior Build isn't just like, hey, we're some race team that's out trying to win, right? We're out there trying to provide recreational vocational therapy to guys. And, every once in a while, you just kind of, maybe you prove yourself or whatever the case may be, but someone asks you to come race with them. And now you're racing for a win with a team that's out there to compete. And that's awesome. And that alone is still, to me, the recreational therapy that Warrior Built is providing. Although I'm not flying under the Warrior Built banner, I'm going to be wearing the Warrior Built suit, and I'm going to be there as a person that was invited from Dennis Hollenbeck, by the foundation. The foundation really just opens up a lot of opportunities. It's not just me. You got guys like Dustin out there racing his thing, and Warrior Built's backing him. You got Mike racing his thing with Race Gas and with Ultra 4. You got Richard Valencia doing his thing. You got Nick Lake doing his thing. Joker's doing his thing, right?
Yeah.
You got all these different guys doing their thing with backing with a Warrior Built guy. But ultimately, man, it's just, to me, it's an honor even to race with this dude. Like, to go down and know that we have literally a competitive chance to finish this race, dude. 1,239 miles from Ensenada to La Paz is pretty awesome. And
yeah, normally it's a loop, just for the audience.
Yeah.
Normally it's a loop, but every 5 to 10 years they want to go all the way down to La Paz. And you talk about, this is the ultimate of the race, the Baja 1000, because you're going all the way to La Paz and then you got to come back.
Yep.
So, with a loop, you're going out 500 miles and you're going to buckle back 500. But this one, you're going to go 1,200 down and 1,200 back.
Yeah, 1,200 back on the highway, and hopefully you get a couple hours of sleep.
Right.
It's going to be great, man. I learned so much from that guy. It's just an honor to be even invited. And again, this opportunity doesn't happen without foundations like the Warrior Built Foundation, man. It's just, the opportunity is not there, right? Like, it's something that anybody I talk to, I was just at the track watching my nephew this weekend race Stasics, the little electric bicycles, right? And people find out, they're like, and every once in a while someone recognizes me off like freaking Monsters YouTube video from 2019 where it's like 3 seconds where my face shows, right? Or the Discovery Channel with Brad DeBerti, where Twin Turbos are like, man, I've seen you before. Were you on Discovery Channel on that Twin Turbo show? And it's like, yeah, dude, I was. Doesn't happen a lot, but about once every 5 or so trips to the track, someone will make a comment and be like, oh, dude, I recognize you. And if it's not that, it's Wheel of Fortune from back in 2012, but
yeah, Mark, I make the comment all the time. I'm not famous, but I play one in real life.
You know what I'm saying, man? And that's what it is, dude. But it's just so, you feel so humble and so lucky and so grateful for foundations like this, man, because it's their dream to do it. It's like, it's their dream to do it. It was my dream to do it. Hell, it was my dad's dream to do it. And here I am doing it. And not because I made it happen, but because I was handed a phenomenal opportunity from a phenomenal foundation. Granted, I did 20 years in the suck, and spent 4 years in combat, or not 4 years in combat, but 4 combat tours. And that was my thing, and so maybe this is it getting paid back to me. That's great. And it is what it is, man. And like you said, though, I think the biggest thing for me is, I haven't separated yet. So until recently, when I went on the Skillbridge program, I was by Marines all the time. People just like me that have been there, done it, seen it. Never lost that brotherhood over my 20 years in the service. I never moved away and lost it. And we've talked about it a million times. And, you just can't replace that with civilians. You just can't. They just don't get it, right? They just kind of smile and nod, and to them it's a gnarly story because they never lived it. But when you talk about it and share with vets, it's different. And when you get guys out on the team, and at the end of the day, man, when we're out racing and we're doing things, and those conversations are being had, and people are being able to, just kind of let their guard down and just be around vets and just do things with each other. That's the best part about racing with Warriorville, right? It's like you got guys like Mike Amato who just popped up. He said dope. And, Mike came out and raced with us. Mike and I talk every once in a while. And you know what, though? Like, he can talk to me and he knows that he can just drop his guard. He doesn't have to try and put on a filter that he's going to offend me or say something that's going to weird me out or something like that, because it just won't. And, that's just general across the board, man. And it's pretty awesome. So,
yeah, and you kind of hit on something like, most Marines are going to transition out, and then they're going to go somewhere in America maybe, or they're going to stay in the local area, but their camaraderie piece that they had, the field ops, the everything goes away.
Right.
You're entering into like what I like to call, our last duty station.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get to choose when you leave, or if you leave at all. And even if you do, you get to come back or whatever. It probably feels, it felt good for me to know, I was getting out, but I was still part of a really cool, field op team that we're still going to go to the field. We're still going to go do this. We're still going to go do that.
It's 100% a field op.
100%.
It's just minus getting shot at and blown up. Right. But, it's so Joe said it if you look at the Monster Energy 2019 Baja 1000 video, and you'll hear Joe's voice in there, and he'll say it's like a combat. He goes, it's like being in combat, or it's like being on deployment, I think is what he said. It's like being on deployment, we all come together to get the mission done. And it's funny because you could go read the comments and be like, deployment, what do these idiots know about deployments? Well, they don't know who the guy is that just made that comment, first of all, because the comment was made by a combat vet who spent multiple tours in Iraq. And he hit the nail on the head, man. It is like a combat. There's not even necessarily a combat deployment, but a deployment. It's like a field op. We have a mission. We need to get it done. And you're sleeping in the suck, pack light,
sleeping on the vehicles.
We don't have a lot of room for extra stuff. You're sleeping in the dirt. You're sleeping when you can, right? Because these races they're not rallies. Everybody likes to compare Baja to like the Dakar rally or something like that. It's like, look, man, you're racing nonstop for 1,000 miles. It's not 1,000 miles over 5 days. This is 1,000 miles from start to finish. And you may or may not get a chance to sleep, man. If all goes well, you might get an hour here or there, but it is what it is. And the guys dig it, man. They miss that shit. I don't care what anybody says. They miss it. And, it's not fun to do it every week for 20 years, but once you hang the boots up, man, and to get out there and do it once a year, it's awesome. Right.
No, that's good stuff. Hey, talk about the softball team a little bit, man. Talk about how that, I remember we first started and everything. We sucked really bad. It took a long time to get the team prepped and going, but it's such a fun thing to do, and we play at a very good place, that obviously sponsors us with some discounts too. Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, dude. So
Field of Dreams, yeah.
Yeah, Big League Dreams. Yeah, so Big League Dreams out in Paris, California, man. We're out there every Thursday night. Unfortunately, I can only roster 12 guys, right? So sometimes I struggle to get 10 dudes on the field, and sometimes I got a wait list, and it's great. I almost feel bad telling people no, they can't play, but at the same time we put together a pretty good team, and as old guys come back, I try to do what I can to get them in. But the softball team has become pretty good, man. And it's not, we have guys out there that have never played a game in their life. You know what I mean? But they just go out. They like to have fun, man. And that's what it's all about. Like, do we like to win? Sure. I think in the last 3 or 4 seasons, and now seasons are broken up in like 8-week periods, right? Like you play the championship game like we were playing championship game this Thursday. We would start the next season next Thursday. So like, they don't stop. Like the only reason you have a break is if you don't make the playoffs. So, and then you get a 1-week break and then you start again. But yeah, man, we've been going hard. I think our only break was COVID, right? When they shut us down for like a year. And then we started going. And 2 seasons back into it, we played for the championship 3 weeks ago, lost. But ultimately, man, we have a good squad out there. We got some good guys. We got a retired master gunner sergeant. We got myself out there, retired gunny, retired staff sergeant. We got retired major. We got an active duty IDC corpsman playing with us now. It's, so I mean, we got a lot. We keep it fair, right? So if I don't have enough people to fill the roster, I go out and I look for vets. And if softball is a way to get people into Warrior Built, then it is what it is. That's what got me into Warrior Built. So,
right. And again, we Mark talked about it. It's not about winning so much as it is about participating and being involved, engaged, and just getting that camaraderie, that team effort. There's so much to every one of these programs that we have and teams. It's just awesome. And you're running a bunch of them. So
yeah, it gets busy, man. I got a pretty awesome wife that, does what she can to support everything that I do. Be it work at the foundation. We got a 1-year-old, I'm watching her right now. She's in there talking to the TV in the bedroom. I could hear her. We got Doc McStuffins on, and she's in there yelling at it. And, it's, it's awesome, man. I don't know, dude. It's great opportunities, and someone's got to do it or the program will die too. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Hey, talk a little bit about, when you talk about programs and why they keep going, talk a little bit about our sponsors, supporters, and volunteers. When you talk about that,
dude.
Clayton, give Clayton Chick a shout out.
I was thinking about Clayton yesterday. Clayton posted a picture of his truck with his new tires. And, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, like without Clayton and Earl, like mostly Clayton, but Earl's pretty awesome too. And we have plenty of volunteers out there too, like Sam's freaking amazing. But Clayton, man, this civilian kid, I think he's been with the foundation since he was 16 years old, helping out.
His mom had to sign for him. I've never had to say, hey man, we got to get you co-signed.
Dude,
on
never
this.
misses an event. He's there for Warrior Built whenever they need him. He picks up parts for me whenever I need him up in Riverside. Anytime we do any training or practice, he's not driving or riding in the car even, and he's still there every time. Like, without people like him, man, I'm telling, like, the team isn't what it would be. I mean, guys like 21 years old now, and he's probably one of the most reliable guys we got on the team. And it's not that to say anything against anybody. The dude's just dedicated, man. He's all about volunteering for the foundation. He's all about helping us out. And that kid's connected too. He's connected through the entire industry. It's amazing.
Yeah, he actually introduced me to Brad DeBerti.
Yeah.
Before we had anything to do with Brad.
I always call him a fanboy. Whenever the trophy trucks are around, I'm like, oh, here we go. Clayton's gonna go fanboy on the trophy trucks. But like he'll walk up and, hey, what's up, Clayton? It's like they know the kid. And he's a good dude. It also helps that he works at Dugan Racing Engines, right, where he builds all the engines for the trophy trucks. Yeah. So, I mean, he's involved in the industry. But his dad and him and all the volunteers. I mean, and then you think of all the sponsors, right? Like, I mean, obviously Monster, dude. We are nothing without them. And then just all the things people do for us with the charity golf tournaments. He's, Brad DeBerti with the Jeep and the Omaze thing. We got the F-350 2017 that's going to SEMA, and that's being raffled off. And all of this matters. It's like people reaching out because they want to donate to the charity, and it's freaking cool, man. We're actually, speaking of SEMA, we're bringing the bug, and we're dropping it off at the Score booth in Vegas at the SEMA show for the week, and it'll be there on display.
Thanks to Score too, Score International for all the support they've done.
Score kind of reached out. Score's always been super helpful to the foundation. Roger Norman's been awesome to the foundation for Baja. Just Score in general has been great. Long-time relationship. And, they just kind of reached out to the Class 11 community, not specifically us, but they said, hey, is anybody willing to put their Class 11 on display? And oddly enough, us, me, and Dennis Hollenbeck were the only ones that reached out. So the car I'm racing and the car I usually race will be the two cars on display at SEMA in 2 weeks.
Outstanding.
So, it's kind of neat, man. And that's just more exposure, but any exposure is good exposure. But I mean, shoot, dude, you talk about as far as the car goes, you got Fox that completely changed the car. I mean, the car was terrible suspension wise. I just thought that was how Class 11s were supposed to be. Fox jumps on board, gives us a whole brand new set of shocks, and completely changes the entire way the car drives. It's amazing. Simpson with all their suits. I mean, Mickey Thompson, that everybody talked crap on our tires because they were so skinny, because it's the only ones that Mickey Thompson makes in that size. And I'm starting to see those tires on other people's cars now, because they freaking work, and they're awesome. But just all around, man, rugged radios, dude. I mean, you can't beat them. They've been nothing but great to us. They're literally across the street from the shop, and anything we need, we just go over to HPR, which is their installation guys, and they hook it up. So, man, dude, I mean, with the bike, there's so many that I don't even know, that just help out. There's all these little parts that, it's like a $10,000 bike that's rebuilt every race. And you can't do that without sponsors. And then Alan, who hates being recognized for anything, but Alan is
without Alan, it's Warrior.
Yeah, we're just warriors, dude.
We're just warriors.
And the guy's amazing. And you know what's so cool
built.
about Alan is he works for the foundation. But he's got set days, man. But at the same time, you could call him any day of the week, and if he hears his phone ring or sees a text message, he's gonna reply to you, man. He is there for everybody. That dude reaches out to all the guys at all times, especially the guys that he sees were struggling. He reaches out to them on a regular basis, man. Just check up on them, say what's up, see how they're doing. I mean,
this is Alan Chadwick.
Dude,
he's the shop manager for Warrior Built. He has been part of Warrior Built since day one. He builds all the bikes, everything. He's a master in all that he does. He makes knives. He's Maker's Moto, Coke and Clinkers, all these different things. And he's got his own motorcycle shop in Riverside. The guy is just an amazing.
Most people live an entire life and don't meet someone like that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's a civilian. He's not a combat vet, but he's got a degree in psychology, or and everyone comes to him actually, like he's the guy. And I'm the guy next to the guy.
And then Nick again, man. Nick hates the recognition. He hates to be talked about.
Nick Ham.
But Nick Ham is the president and founder of the foundation, dude. And that guy puts in a lot of work. I remember him asking me to go to the off-road expo one year and just go around and take pictures with sponsors and talk to sponsors and maybe get some leads and some possible new sponsors to help out the family. That's a lot of work. That dude spends a lot of time on the phone, a lot of time doing organization stuff, a lot of time coordinating with sponsors and keeping them on board, right? Because without sponsors, we're nothing. And, Nick keeps that going, man. And he, especially lately, man, he's really good at really just allowing the guys to run all the different things. I remember back in the day when it was still new and we were doing it, is he was coming out from Arizona all the time and coming to the shop because, this is his baby. And then, now we're organizing and we're getting on the road and we're heading to races and we're meeting them in Mexico, or we're meeting them in Arizona, or we're meeting them in Nevada. Just to, I feel feels awesome to be able to get that kind of responsibility put on my shoulders and go, hey man, I got this guy that's been doing this for a long time. That's, historically been there to run everything. And he's letting me do it. And, that's pretty awesome, man. And then, when people go, man, you run a race team? I go, yeah, for the most part, I run it. Everybody's got their team owner, and that dude does a phenomenal job. And we don't exist without Nick Ham, man. And I got to give kudos to that dude. He keeps us running. He keeps us rolling. And, man, I appreciate everything he does for us too, because I don't do what I do. I don't go to race in Baja without Nick, Dude does a lot for us, man. And he does it behind the scenes, and he doesn't ask for recognition. He doesn't ask for kudos. He doesn't like thank yous. He just, hey, are you having a good time? I think that's what he asks every time someone says, hey man, thanks for the opportunity. He goes, are you having a good time? And guys will be like, yeah, man, I'm having a great time. He goes, well, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's it's interesting because I've been talking to our sponsors before too, and you know, Sam from our powder coater, Young Guns powder
Yeah.
coating. Uh, he said most sponsors, they sponsor all these teams because it's like this big money thing, and they never see anything back from it. With all of our guys and everything, we want to highlight that, and a lot of guys are
Yeah.
like, "No, man, we just want to help you guys out. We don't care about any recognition." We're like, "No, man, we want to support your stuff. We want to, it just it's cool to see America pour its heart into something, and for us to reflect it back and say, hey, I want to thank these Mickey Thompson, Monster Energy. I want to flash it. I want to look cool. I just want to be there because um, they're really just hooking us up, man, and giving us an opportunity to do something really rad. Score international all the time down there in Baja 1000, Baja 500, the 250. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even like Baja Designs, they don't get anything from us, and man, we got the best lights set up on every one of our damn cars and trucks that you can have. And that's because Baja Designs just wants us to succeed, and you can't succeed without seeing. And they're just good. They're just good to us, right? And again, they don't want nothing in return. I see them now when I go to different shows, and they're like, "Hey, Mark, what's up, man?" And it's like, "Hey, what's up, dude? Here's a new shirt. Like, here's like, oh, thanks, dude." Like, they don't want to take pictures. They don't care. They're just good people, man.
And ultimately, this is all bringing our combat vets together to do a really cool
Absolutely.
thing. The therapeutic effect from all of this, it's pushing guys out past their limits of tolerance as far as like community and getting involved in it and getting out. Maybe they want to be inside, not really doing much. But it's a shock and awe for a little while. Um, and it brings that camaraderie and that brotherhood that is so often uh, misunderstood until you get out of the military and you lose it, and you wonder, where am I going to get that back? And this has been a perfect place to do it.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's pretty awesome, man. I can't complain. I'm pretty blessed and pretty lucky with the opportunities I got. And it's all networking, right? Like, it just kind of fell into my lap. I didn't go out and find it, but fell into another vet's lap that threw it in my lap, and here I am.
Yeah, we talk about the vocational piece too, and this, it kind of extends into the fact that you're going to go down and race competitively. But there's some job opportunities that come to Warrior Bill too, from the DMA that sponsors us, which is like 27 companies. That basically the Distribution Management Association of Southern California, and some of our guys have actually gotten jobs through the
Yeah,
companies that
Brandon.
are some of those companies. Yeah, and so it's always cool to know that we have some opportunities like jobs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon. Who else has gotten it? Chad Cedatal. Yeah,
Yep.
some of these guys have gotten some really cool things.
Yeah. No, I mean, and they've been there, and they told me as soon as I'm out, just give us a call and we'll take care of you. I mean, the opportunities are few and far between, and vets at the end of the day, if it's not the Warrior Built Foundation, there's many foundations out there that don't necessarily do off-road racing, that do other things, fishing or whatever. But if they find themselves struggling, they just need to attach themselves to a foundation that aligns with their interests, because it exists. You may have to find it by a simple Google search, but you can find it. And at the end of the day, man, there's all these different foundations. I know we've partnered with some different ones, and we've taken guys out on hunting trips and fishing trips and all sorts of different things, and those opportunities are there. But at the end of the day, those foundations are always reaching out and they're always advertising, right? But if you're not out there on the platforms they're advertising on or putting their information out on, then you're not going to find it. So and what you'll find too is a lot of the vets that you're around in these foundations, whether it be Warrior Built or any of the other veteran nonprofits out there, is that these guys are going through or have gone through the same thing that you're going through. You know what I mean? It's not just, you're not on an island by yourself. You're just on an island secluding yourself in a little area by yourself while everybody else is moving towards the town and the party and the bonfire. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys on that island with you. You just got to go link up with them because they've probably been on that island for a while and they know where to get the coconut. You know what I mean? And they can probably help you out. So
Exactly. Well, Mark, you wanna hit up any other information, man, before we step off? It's always a pleasure to get on here with you. You talk about a lot of really cool things. You got the in-depth scope on a lot of programs, obviously, with the ones you're running. And like you mentioned, man, there's so many other opportunities from Warrior Built, from our music studio to the gym to the gym opportunities to other opportunities that exist out there. And you're right. These other nonprofit organizations that may want to get on the show, feel free to hit me up on this too. I'm all over the place. Please reach out. But Mark, you got anything? Final words? Hit it up, man.
No, man. Just I mean, at the end of the day, any veteran listening to this needs to know that you're not alone. You're not out there by yourself. These foundations were here for you. They're there for me. They're there for all my friends. And, you can't get better if you don't try, and you can't get better if you don't look for it. So if you're seeing this for the first time and you're just hearing about Warrior Built for the first time, or you're thinking that, you're in a dark place and you need some help doesn't always have to be in a circle talking about your problems. Help could just be hanging around people with similar experiences in life. And that's what these foundations provide for you. So get out there and look at it. Don't be secluded on your island. Go find that help and get that coconut, man. We'll have a good time.
Mark, if someone wants to get a hold of you, man, how can they do that? Throw that out there for them.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
He's in the show notes as well.
What's up?
I said you're in the show notes as well. They can get a hold of you through me.
Yeah,
but
so they can get a hold of me through you. They can get a hold of me through Combat Vet Vision. They can get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook. You just type my name in, you'll find me. You send me a message. You can find me on Instagram. You can probably look on Warrior Built's thing and see where I posted and tagged Warrior Built. So not too hard to find. I'm here. So if anybody has questions, I'm a pretty open book, man. I'm down to talk to anybody about anything, and I don't ignore anybody. So if someone sends me a message, I'll get back to you. And if I don't have the answer, I'll get you to the right person that does.
Well, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being on the show, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate having me.
All right. Hey, this is Aaron Siebert, retired Navy chief. Lucky to be alive. Lucky to have, Mark Doucette and guys like that. I'm fortunate enough to be connected with some really amazing guys, whether their stories are, they're just part of the team. They're just wanting to do stuff. They're running teams. They're doing different things. And there's a whole bunch of organizations out there doing some incredible stuff too. So anybody that wants to pop on my show, anybody that wants to talk about some stuff, let's get you on. I do one a week. I know there's kind of a line of people that want to get on here and talk about some cool stuff. But until next time, hey, this is Aaron Siebert, retired Navy chief, signing off. Strength and honor. Out.